Oh, that's a beautiful sound. I just pulled it out of the garage, letting it heat up, and oh, there's just something about the beautiful sound of a military Humvee clankety clanking in the background right there. That is just amazing. I've always wanted one of these. Happy I got it. I actually just bought a second one yesterday. This is a 2002 AM General M1097A2. The second one I just bought is almost a spitting image of this, or at least the way it was, and I'll show that here in just a minute or explain it. So there is a process to these, and a lot of people are discouraged in buying them, even though they're just badass. All right, let's just face that. American pride, the power of freedom, or the symbol of freedom with this thing. The people, the men and women that sacrificed so much and rode around these in different countries to give us the ability to do what we do here. So one thing I've learned in business, when people say the I hates, the I wants, I wish, those are key words for just getting your mind right to understand. It's one thing I've learned in business. If you can provide a service or a product to suit those needs, when you hear those, just listen to it. Next conversation you have with somebody, when you hear somebody say, I hate, I wish, I want, things like that, just tune into that and be like, how could I solve that? So if you can provide value to somebody, they're gonna trade their monetary value to you. So why does that tie in with a Humvee like this? A lot of people want them, but they're very discouraged because of the process it takes. I'll be honest, I was terrified to death. I paid for this thing here, couldn't see it, sight unseen. You just get a look at the photos, the documentation, make a decision if you want to bid. There's no set price. You're in a bidding process. You either go more or drop out. So kind of a fun rush if you like that kind of thing. But then you wait and you wait and you wait. You have to wait for certain documents to be reviewed and gone through, and it just is daunting. So going through the process of this wasn't quite as bad as I was expecting. Maybe it's because I did a lot of research to understand what I'm looking up against. This took at least 3 to 4 months before I could even drive it. So back to this real quick and then tie into the new one. So as I said, it was the M1097A2. I'll talk about the A2 and this here. The new one I bought, I said, is like a spitting image of this. A little brother, a little sibling, or the big brother I should say. Truly, the VIN number on this, or not VIN, but the serial number is what they make the VIN. Alright, this is a 2023-37. The one I just bought is 2023-34. I'm pretty sure, based on that number, as they're being manufactured here in northern Indiana, up in the Mishawaka, Indiana area, the one I bought was built 4 trucks prior to this one, or somewhere in that range. This is the one I bought back at Christmas time in 2022. Took delivery first week, mid-December, I'm sorry, January. And then it wasn't street legal until like April. So there's a process. You've got the, you gotta do a hold harmless agreement. You gotta fill out an SF-97 for title transfer type things. You've gotta do an EUC, which is through the Department of Defense, which is an end use certificate. That takes a while. That's what takes months. Some people I've heard saying it takes 6 months plus. Mine took a little over 3. Daunting process. Financial money out, not knowing, no guarantees. You could get it and just be a lemon. So I'm doing that for you guys. When it comes up and it's street legal, I'll have it for sale. So if you've ever wanted a Humvee, military Humvee, keep an eye. I live in central Indiana. It was manufactured here in Indiana, getting it brought back here and titled in Indiana. So I have a clean, clear title when it's ready to go. So how it looks is how this one used to be. So 2-door. It had the 2-door, 2-man top right here, and then right here in this general area, it went up another couple feet over to the back and down. And it had 2 big benches in the back to carry 8 men wherever they needed to go. I got to strip all that down. We're going to convert it over very similar to this. They'll have the new seats put in, all 4. I got to take out all the modular parts back here because it has a pan, a tray that comes in right here across. Has a bar that crosses over here to keep things from the bed from sliding forward. Removing all that, the quarter panels down the sides here, putting the base pan in, seats in. I got to modify or fabricate. Buddy of mine makes these brackets up to fit this from the old military seats to these nice soft cushies. He also handmade this center console. They don't always have a center rack in here. Typically there's a little metal tray that comes over. It's kind of weird for the old radio racks and everything. May have him do one of these just because it's nice. You can set a laptop, set things up here, stereo, backup camera, whatever. He's got a couple cup holders he made. He's got a little center tray for pens, pencils, change. A little cubby in here where I keep my laptop sometimes. And of course, the intercom. That's a must. You want to have a conversation, it's so loud driving down the road. All the metal moving parts and shafts, there's no noise dampening material in here, so it's very loud. This rugged radios is a Bluetooth module, intercom, noise canceling. It's amazing. Bluetooth to the phone, so you can carry conversations on while driving down the road at 55, 60 mile an hour. Noise canceling headsets, everybody's got their own sound. You can all talk easy, just like in an airplane. If you ever heard ATC talking to a pilot, that's what it's like. Talking to people on my phone while driving, they don't even know it. So that's a must. I'll probably put that in the new one. The A2. Let me explain the A2 here for a second. There's a lot of people selling these online. If you look, they're 80s, 90s models. They are an A1. Biggest downfall to an A1 is you have 1, 2, and drive gear-wise. Going 50 mile an hour down the road, it's gonna sound something like this with a lot of just like noises everywhere, right? Right under this is drive shafts and gears and suspension, and the drivetrain is solid shafts up high. There's just a lot of moving parts, so it's really noisy and loud. So the significance with an A2 is it has overdrive. You got first, second drive, and overdrive. So going down the road, you're gonna be at a much lower RPM on the engine and cruising a little bit better. You're gonna have that ability to go on the highway, not the interstate, but the highway. 55, 65, no problem. I'm sorry, 55, 60, no problem. I could probably push this 65, maybe 70. It's gonna bury it on the odometer here. 55 is comfortable, 60 is a little bit much because you got so much moving metal. But with the A1, you don't have that overdrive, so it's gonna be winding a lot. If you want to have an idea what it looks like on most cars, you'll have a D with a circle, shift it down into D, and go down the road and see the difference. Now imagine that with a loud diesel. Intercoms are a must. So I've got all the paperwork submitted yesterday. The wire transfer is going out today for it. It's just the waiting process now. Forking out the money, waiting on all the paperwork to clear, then ordering all the parts to switch it over. It's a bit of a process. So if you ever wanted a Humvee like this one, it'll be almost identical to this, minus the decals. Hopefully within about 4 months, I'll have it on Marketplace in various places here in central Indiana with a clean, clear title. So all you gotta do is buy it and transfer the title into your name at your local license branch. Because it's a bit of a process. Gotta have a deputy come out too, saving you the trouble if you want to go through the process of the SF-97, taking it to your local police state department, having them do the checks and all that. In this case, I'm taking care of all that, having it all done. Bunch of overrides at the license branch because there's no VIN, doing all that for you guys. So 3 months, 4 months, maybe somewhere in that range. If you're looking for a military Humvee, check it out. Come drive to Indiana, test drive it, buy it, and enjoy. It's a great feeling in the evenings after working my butt off. Just take this out in the country for a short little cruise. It's so nice. Alright. Keep an eye out on it. If you like the channel, give it a thumbs up. It's a roofing channel. This is my roofing truck. It's the one I do military givebacks. That's kind of why I'm carrying this, or doing this kind of video. It's not quite the roofing video, but it's a little bit different. Anyway, I got to get ready to get busy. I'm warming this up because I'm going to meet a buddy to pour concrete. Probably be like the second or third time I've ever done concrete, so I'm about to just have some sweat pouring and be schooled. I'm gonna be the greenhorn, the deckhand, the newbie, the FNG for all you rippers out there. I'm gonna be the FNG in the concrete arena today, so. Whew, I got my steel-toe concrete boots in the back there. Had to dust them off because I haven't used them in 20 years, but we're about to. All right, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Check out the new Humvees that comes. I'll try to cover some of it when I take delivery if I go pick it up or whatever. As always, until next time, be safe. We'll see you in the next video.